Welcome to another Grey Zone Warfare video. I am spoiling you with the amount of videos that I'm doing on this game, considering I didn't upload for months on end. But yeah, we're back. And in today's video I'm going to be talking about some tips that I've picked up since playing again on the 0.3 update. And things that could help you, and some tips that you might not know even if you've been playing for hours and hours. So hopefully it helps. If it did, let me know in the comments and share some more tips down below there as well. It's always helpful. We can always learn more. But yeah, hope it helps. Enjoy. Okay, so tip 1. There's quite a lot of water in Grey Zone Warfare to cross. All these rivers and stuff, and they leave you quite exposed. But sometimes there's only one bridge, and it could be a kilometre away for you to cross on land. So what I recommend doing, other than looking for the narrowest part of the river, is you can see they're always flowing, it's never stationary. But when you're in the water, you're a bit, prone to being slow and not very agile. Because you're walking against the current, if you move at a diagonal, as you can see, you're so much faster crossing the river. So always find the shortest point of the river and always move diagonally downstream to get across the river much quicker. So tip number 2, when you're capturing cobs, you've got 9 of the major cobs. One of them, Harrison, Spielberg, Titan, Bronco, Stalwart, Westmore, Nomad, Winchester, all around the map. You can see them because they have 3 dots in their triangle, whereas the normal cops have just 1. In all of the big ones, you will either have a PMC weapons crate or a PMC gear crate. I always recommend checking these because you can get some really good stuff out of it. For example, this one that I've just taken from an enemy force, which they clearly didn't know about looting these because this is still here. I got 3 helmets out of that. The weapons ones, you can get fully kitted out M4s, and all you need to do is just take it over. If the cop is red, then it is owned by an enemy PMC faction. If it's grey, it's not been taken over by anyone yet and it's still owned by the locals. If it's blue, then it's yours. No matter where you are or what you're doing, I always recommend running through, because as you saw, that crate wasn't looted and it was owned by an enemy faction, so they clearly didn't check the gear crate. Now it does respawn over time, but it takes about an hour and a half for things to respawn, so it's always going to be there. If it's grey, all you need to do is take out 7 local AI wearing mid-tier armour and having pretty rubbish guns. And then if it's owned by a PMC faction, then another tip 2.5 if you will, is loot them, because their guns are pretty good. They'll have M4s and their mags will be filled with M855, an absolute great ammo for PvP and fighting AI really. So for tip number 3, there are now areas around the map that you can unlock rooms with codes that you find around the surrounding area. I'm going to show you 2 examples of this, one that you can get right at the very start in your starting town and one later on in Fort Nareth. Everyone's starting towns, no matter what faction you're on, is the same. They're all mirrored. As you can see, I'm Crimson, and you've got this T-junction and the town hall right where the T meets. Over at Lamang, you got the T-junction and the town hall right where that meets. Mithras, exactly the same. We're going to need to go to the town hall for this. As you can see, this is what the town hall looks like. And killing enemies and AI around this area gives you a chance to find this keycard. It will have your starting town's name and then the Town Hall Finance Department keycard. Once you've done that, you can open that room up. So go in the front door of the Town Hall, take a left, and there's the Finance Department with the keycard reader. You just use your keycard on that, open the door, and you're in. And here's where you need to find the code for the safe right here. As you can see, we don't know the code just yet, but the code is a static spawn in this area, and what you're going to want to do is come out, go up the middle stairs, and then the room right in front of you, which is the mayor's office. On his desk there's a post-it note and you can read that post-it note. 2218 is the code. And all you're going to need to do now is go down the stairs again, into that finance room, open the safe with 2218, and there you go, it's open. And now we can loot it. Gives you some money, some pearl earrings, some intel, all things that you can sell for a decent bit of money. This is just one example, a nice early game starter. There are tons of these around the map in different areas, and all it involves you doing is looking around for different post-its and different flyers on the wall or documents on a table, and if you can read it, 9 times out of 10 that's going to have something. So we are at Fort Narif now. I landed at Delta 3 because it's the easiest way to get over. Basically what we're going to want to do is there is a guard tower and a locked gate right here on the map. We're going to want to head over there from Delta 3, jump over that gate, kill anyone in the training course, and then head to this tent right by the road here. That tent is then going to give us the code for the underground armory, and that is what we're going to be looting. So from there to finally there. I will show you exactly the route I take, but be careful because Fort Narif has a hell of a lot of AI and it is a PvP hotspot as well. So here's the gate, and the reason I jump over here is because you've got this little jump spot. It allows you to peek and see just what's going on, and then once you're done, just jump in. It looks like some of the AI has already been taken care of, which is easy for us. Then we're going to want to hug the wall round to the right. Take out anyone in that guard tower, because sometimes there is a guard. Not this time though. Head round, and then you should see the tent right in front of us past these bushes. There you go. That tent right there is where we're going to need to be. Just keep an eye out for people and AI, but it looks like people are being distracted, which is good. We can then go in to this tent, and on the left hand side of the tent is a book with the ammo sat wrap, and the code for this one is 9628. Like I said earlier, it does change, so you're going to have to check that before going into the bunker. Then continue around to the right up until you get to this fence here. And then head along the fence, and there is a break in the wall about midway up, just by this mound here. And as you can see, we are heading closer now to the underground armory. Head through the hole, and then head down to the underground armory. Take out the AI, head down the hill, and then into the underground bunker. Now, the underground bunker is open apart from that one code that we needed. So closing doors behind us. And there is one right behind this door here. And it sounds like another one back here as well, so just clear out the rooms. There we go. Close doors again. And then here is the coded keypad. So as I said, the code for this one is 9628. 6 to 8, then press star to unlock the door, and there you go. Door is open. You can unlock it. Again, there could be 1 or 2 AI in here as well, so just sweep it, and then it's time to loot. There's a military gear crate right here. This is one of the better rigs in the game, so we'll take that, and the helmet as well, because that's one of the better helmets in the game. A nice ammo box. Another firearms crate here. Nice AK-74M there. AK-19. There's a rig. Ammo box. More M855A1, M62. Tracer. There's an armour rig spawn there. It's a okay rig. It's not anything special. And then there's another firearms crate right here. And that's it. So a military gear crate, 2 firearms crates, ammo boxes. It's a bit more of a hotspot, but well worth looting if you get the chance. And always strip the guns when you can, because some of the attachments, they sell for some good money. The next tip I can give you comes when you want to sell some stuff to traders. Before it didn't really matter who you sold to, but now for certain items it does. Vendors have a preference to what they take. For example, this gold credit card that you can see in my inventory now. I want to sell that, and to most of the vendors, they will buy it for 600, as you can see there. Artisan though, buys it for 800, so there's an extra 200 there. And that's the same with a few things. So no matter what, I always recommend going through all of the traders you have unlocked and see who would buy what for the most. Before, you never needed to. Now, I highly recommend doing so, because you could be missing out on a few $100s. So for tip number 5, you may know that weight affects how much you can run and stuff like that. And it does, but not as a gradual as you might think. As you can see, I am naked at the moment, weighing only 5 of 54 kilos, and stamina up in the top left. If we just keep running, and we'll use this building for scale here, we'll just keep running round it, we'll see how many laps we can do completely naked, and you'll notice that it is a certain amount. So that's 1 lap now, and we are just halfway. And this is coming up to the 2nd lap, with a tiny bit left. So that is 2.5 laps before your stamina gets reduced to nothing. You'd think gradually it would slowly decrease depending on how heavy you are, and that's somewhat true, but there is a really good sweet spot. I have now geared myself up so I weigh 31 kilos out of 54. This is roughly the sweet spot. So we did 2 and a bit laps last time. Doing the exact same thing. Let's see how many we can do now. So as you can see, it is depleting faster. That is 1 full lap around the building. So yeah, 1.5-ish, 1 and a bit. So now I weigh 35 kilos, just 3 kilos more than I did just now. And that 3 kilos is going to make a huge amount of difference. Running around this exact same building, we will start running and you will see the stamina deplete even quicker. So that's one side, and we are halfway down on our stamina already. And that's it. 3/4 of a building. Just by going 2 or 3 kilos heavier than we were. So when you're kitting yourself out, to make yourself most efficient, the sweet spot is between 27 and 32 kilos. Any more than that and you will notice a huge decrease in your stamina. Just bear that in mind. The next tip I have for you is to get out of this low ready state. If you don't know already, there are 2 ready states that your character can be in. Low ready, which I'm in now, and high ready when the gun is up like this. When your gun's up like this, you can shoot straight away. And there is no delay in your input from when you click your mouse to when you fire a shot. However, that's great. If you want to hit fire in close range, you want your gun to be ready like this. But after a while of not firing, your gun goes into the low ready state like that. Which means if you were to hit fire, you have a short delay from when you shoulder your weapon and then when you fire. You don't want that. There are a couple of ways to get around it and to stay in this high ready state. One of them is to use a flashlight or laser, and that will then keep your weapon up at this high ready state because you are pointing where you're going. The downside to that is people can see a flashlight and people can see a laser, and it doesn't work on infrared lasers, unfortunately. So you will be able to be visible when you've got your flashlight on like this, and when you're moving around you'll be seen. So another way of doing it is just to quickly scope in and out every now and then. It's not ideal. You should really have a button to choose high ready, low ready, but a quick scope in and out will reset the countdown to get it back to low ready, meaning you're always ready to fire shots straight away. Next is how to identify what armor is good for you. In case you don't know, this goes off of the US standard for grading armor and armor plates, meaning that this armor rig here might look good, but it's 3A, meaning it is the lowest tier armor that you can get. The order that it will go is 3A, 3A+, 3, 3+. That is the order of armors from worst to best. So this one here, worst. This one, level 3, pretty good. This one, 3+, even better. The difference is though, you might choose to pick the 3A armor over this chest rig that I've got here, purely because it only covers the front. If you look at the back of the rig, there is no armor protection, and you can see what it covers right here. You've got front protection, but no back and no sides. The other 2 rigs have front and back protection. So if you're running this Elite 4 chest rig here, you'll have stronger protection at the front, but if you get shot in the back, you'll be acting like there is no armor there at all, meaning you might want to reconsider some of your armor choices. There are better armors in the game that cover more, like this one. This M2 rig here actually covers front and back 3+, even better, and is a better protection material, but harder to find. You can't buy these, you have to find them yourself. There are 3++ rigs that are extremely hard to find. One of them is called the Phantom, but again, you have to look for them. And very few rigs actually have side protection. So when you're choosing what rigs to take and what armor to take, I recommend just double clicking on them to inspect, because this one again here, it's level 3 but only protects the front. This one here, level 3, protects the front and back. So out of the 2 of them, this Elite 4 and the Lancer, I would always be choosing the Lancer. It's the same with helmets, but helmets, they're not as strong. Most of the helmets are going to be 3A, with only a couple of them being 3A+. You don't get level 3 helmets and you don't get level 3+ helmets. 3A+ is the better of the helmets. The next tip I have for you is to do with helicopters and the general noise in the game. Some of you might not know that helicopters are extremely loud, but if you wear headphones, you can actually press O on your keyboard and it'll activate noise cancellation, meaning your helicopters go from that to this. Another thing you could do relating to helicopters is when you jump on the helicopter, sometimes you have to wait, but if you press L, it will take off as soon as you get on it. So just press L as soon as you hit in the seat, and it won't wait those 10 seconds before taking off. It will take off straight away. There's 2 tips in one for you, all about the helis. The next tip I can give you all is that you need to loot everywhere. I'm at Midnight Sapphire at the minute, which is one of the more intense PvP spots and also the highest loot spots. But don't forget things like this, little purses that are lying about the place. I just found a luxury smartphone and an MT watch and 800 of this $1,000 just in this one purse. These little runs like this, looking for the smaller lootable items, can really make a difference. And you can find these all over the map, not just at main POIs like Midnight Sapphire. Another one that's quite important is, as you can see by the map, Lamang is really foresty, and sometimes, especially at night, it could be hard to find where your body is, especially when you slip down a really steep hill and break your legs and die from a 2-meter fall. But did you know there's a way that you can find your gear really easily? And that is with these little things. Basic tracking tags. Well, not just basic tracking tags. The vendors sell a hell of a lot of different types of tracking tags. You got the advanced tracking tag here, the basic one, and the tracking tag. All do different amounts of time. So the normal tracking tag, moderate, the basic one, short, and the advanced, long. Now they are quite expensive, and you can buy these from Handshake. But what you can do is tag a piece of gear, like your weapon or your armour. You just right click on them and go add tracking tag. BT tag, for example. As you can see, this orange marker says that this item is now tagged for an hour, meaning if I die, I can now locate it. For example, if I was to be running in these trees over here and I just fell over and just died, I could have had a heart attack, you know, asthma attack, anything like that. I die, right? I just die. Like that. I die. Respawn at the nearest wherever, like this, and I'm like, where's my body? Well, I go to the map, and I can see exactly where the tagged item is. So I can run exactly back on the tac map, open it up, you can see exactly the direction that my body is in for a whole hour. And that's just with the basic tag. And as you can see, I'm right by my body now, so I just need to look in this general vicinity, and I know it is around here. And there I am, on the floor. Asthma attack. Just pick up my gear, and I'm ready to go again. And that item is still tagged. It doesn't lose it after you die. This item will stay tagged for an hour. Really good way to recover your gear. Even if you get killed by PMCs, you can track it. And there we go. That is 10 tips I've picked up recently after playing Grey Zone Warfare again after a little bit. And I feel like it's helped me become a better player, know what to loot, know that I need to explore a bit more, and different things to just keep me going. Like I said at the start, if you think of any more or if you know of any more, leave them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.